Hello everyone, and welcome to the 2017 SHOT Show here at the Tops Knives booth. My name is Craig, and we want to welcome GPKNIVES and give you guys a good look at some of our new stuff for 2017. We have quite a bit, so we're not going to be able to cover it all, but some of the ones that we're really excited about. First, I'm going to start with this one. It's a push dagger that we're tentatively naming IStick. Basically, what we're looking at here is probably one of the thickest push daggers that I've ever seen, and it's something that we wanted to put out. We wanted to give people something just heavy and mean and brutal. Basically, this thing is 3/8 of an inch thick. It's 1075 steel. We've got some black canvas handles on it, and obviously it's a push dagger. We've got it double-edged, but the grinds on this take it from 3/8 of an inch to a pretty narrow blade. So we're able to get it very sharp, but it still has a lot of weight behind it. So if it's something that you do have to use in a combat type situation or maybe a self-defense scenario, it's going to have some weight, which is going to help with penetration, and it's going to help you get out of a sticky situation. One of them, we've actually got a couple, and we're trying to decide which one we like better. We've actually put a twist into the steel on one of them and left the other one without. Basically, we wanted to add some aesthetics to it, and we wanted to do something unique, something that you don't really see in production knives. So that's why we went with that twist there. So tell us what you think. That's first up. Next is kind of the opposite end of the spectrum there. We've gone from a combat knife to a bushcrafter. This is called the Tanimboca Puukko. It's designed by a guy named Goran down in Colombia. This man has been making knives for years and years. He's been using them for even longer. And his favorite design actually is a Puukko, the traditional Finnish knives. And basically, the ones that he's making in the jungle, he's making them out of spring steels, out of leaf springs from cars and things like that. And we connected to him through Joe Flowers, who's the owner of Bushcraft Global. What we wanted to do with this is keep it as close as possible to a traditional Puukko. So we've got the Scandinavian grind. We do a modified Scandi grind, which we feel makes the edge a little bit stronger without sacrificing cutting ability. And we also wanted to keep with the handle as well. Puukkos are known for having thick, round handles, completely circular, no finger guards, so you can get very close to what you're cutting, giving you a lot of control. So what we did on this is we had 1/2-inch handle scales that we put a very large radius on. So they're very contoured, which makes it comfortable to hold in your standard hammer grip, in your chest lever grips. It really just gives you a lot of possibilities for cutting and woodworking especially. Really excited about this one. A lot of people have given us very positive feedback. It will come in a deep carry leather sheath, which is pretty standard for a Puukko style design. So we're going to stick with that as well. Really good piece, this one. Next up, I won't make you wait any longer. We've got the Fieldcraft Folder. This is something that we first introduced at the SHOT Show in 2015, and people have been asking us about it ever since. Basically, we had to go through several rounds of prototyping to finally get it to where we felt that it was going to do what we wanted to do. It's going to be a very strong folder, but it is still a folder. So for those people that are thinking, hey, I'm going to use this like I would a fixed blade, be careful. You know, it's still a folding knife. It's only going to be as strong as the lock and the pivot. However, we do feel that we nailed it. Basically, what we did is after our last prototype run, we made 50 of these as a pre-production run to make sure that the changes that we made would stick in a production type environment. So putting together 3 knives and then putting together 50 knives are two very different things. We needed to gauge how long it was going to take on average, how it was going to work, if there were going to be pieces that need to be replaced or things like that. And so that's partly why it took so long. But basically, the first 50 we're going to do a special sale on. They're all engraved as pre-production. 1 of 50, 2 of 50, and so on. And we're only going to do those 50 as the pre-production. So they'll be sold first, and they'll be exclusive. They're gonna be collectible, really. I think a lot of people are gonna end up, they get one of these, they're gonna end up keeping it, not using it, and then get one of the real ones, get one of the actual production run to use. So we're really excited about that. Look for the pre-production sale within the next few weeks. 3 to 4 weeks is kind of our time frame that we're looking for. Finally here. Next up, the Hammerhawk. This is a Leo Espinoza design. If you know much about Tops Knives, you know that Leo designs most of what we put out, and he's very, very good at it. He's able to design everything from neck knives clear up to tomahawks, and they're all unique, they're all new and different. This one, what's really exciting about this one is that it's 3/8 of an inch thick, 1075 steel, so it's got a higher impact resistance than 1095. While you lose a little bit of edge retention, that's okay on a hatchet or an axe. You don't need it to be shaving your arm hairs. We took feedback from a lot of our customers last year who said they liked the Viax, but wanted something with a hammer as opposed to a spike. So we put a hammer on this one. We also extended the handle, which was feedback that we got a lot of on the Viax as well. And we also gave it the ability to choke way up. Another thing that people asked for on the Viax. So basically everything that people didn't like on the Viax, we fixed on this. And granted, we didn't get a lot of negative feedback on the Viax. It's just that we take what people say seriously, and if it's good feedback, we're going to incorporate it. The best feature, though, is the milling. Up here at the top, we had to take some steel out to reduce a little bit of weight, make the balance right, and make sure that this thing was going to be user-friendly. And as we did that, we decided, why not make it look good too? So we thought about what to do. We came up with a kind of a spearhead design that you would think of when you think of a tomahawk, and we talked to our CNC guy about it, and he said, you know what, I think I can do that, and it came out amazing. I mean, it's just gorgeous. Probably the coolest thing that we have on our table is that. So we're really looking forward to this one. It's going to be released with this backup knife. It will be they'll be paired together in a piggyback style leather sheath is the goal. So look for that this year. Next up is the Tactical Fly. Another Leo Espinoza design. As you can tell, everything he does is unique. We go from a large tomahawk to a butterfly knife. But not just any butterfly knife. It's a knife that you could actually take out in the woods and still use, which is really what Leo was going for. He liked how fun butterfly knives are. He's always liked playing with those. But then he also wanted it to be something that he wouldn't just carry around to play with, that he could actually use. And that's why we've got a wider blade than you would expect to see on a butterfly knife. This was debuted last year. A couple of the changes that we've made to make it worthy, I guess, would be that we swapped from aluminum handles to steel. It helped balance out the weight, helped make it feel a little bit more stout, and actually it will be more stout.
Well, there's one right here.
We added a stop on the lock so that the blade won't catch on it. You know, we did quite a few upgrades to make this thing ready for launch, and we believe that we'll have it out this year. So look for that one soon. Keeping with the folders, one of the things that we learned with or many of the things that we learned with the Bob folder, we are going to be able to incorporate it into new folding designs. And the Tops Multi-Tool is actually a perfect example of that. Basically, what we had to do to make the Bob folder work, we applied to this. So we're not going to have to go through 10 rounds of prototyping to make it ready. And we've got a lot of great feedback about this one so far. Basically, every guy that's picked this thing up has said, if I had something like this when I was a kid, I would, and then whatever they would do to destroy their environment. You know, a lot of it just resonated with a lot of people in that way, which is really what we were going for. It's not a serious piece. We're not looking to make this, you know, very tactical or you know, we're having fun with this. It's not it's just fun, basically. That's what we were going for, is fun. The reason we're calling it a multi-tool is that the slingshot is actually removable. And we're working on a way to make that a quick release so that we can put other attachments on it. And just keeping with the theme of making it fun, we were thinking about things like a shovel, grilling utensils, you know, just whatever we could think of to make it fun but still usable. So look for this one probably towards the end of the year, but it is going to be a really cool piece. Next up is another example of the genius of Leo's designs. Basically, he came into my office one day and just said, you know what, I want to make a chopper. And we talked about it for a few minutes, and he was like, okay, I'm gonna go do it. He left, he came back about 20 minutes later, put a drawing on my desk, and that was this. There were no changes made to the drawing, it was just ready to go. So we made it, took it out into the woods, and after the first swing, we knew that this thing was ready. It was going to chop whatever you want. We're calling it El Chete. And one of the things that I want to mention specifically about this is that people have been asking us to keep the thickness of our choppers all the way to the end. So a lot of them actually do taper towards the tip. And on this one, we didn't do that. We've kept the thickness all the way here, so it keeps a lot of the weight into the knife, which makes it better for chopping, and incorporates feedback that we've gotten from customers. So really excited about this one. It's going to be a beast, and it's almost ready actually. We'll probably have this out sometime in the middle of the year. So very cool.